So that was quite a season finale they showed us.
So you saw it on Friday.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was pretty awesome. I didn't see that ending coming.
Really? Oh, good.
So can you give us any scoops?
Any scoops for after the
Oh,
season
what's going to
finale?
happen next?
Well, you guys already had John Steinberg. He's probably the one that might be able to. I'm just really looking forward to the second season because Chance has to kind of go back into his past and maybe even become who he once was. Guerrero might have to go back and do what he used to do and kind of solve the problem.
How do you go about training for a show like this?
Well, you know, I was in the Army for a while, so that was a pretty physical job. And I'd always sort of been interested in martial arts. Every once in a while I would do something like that. I think it was about 5 years ago I decided to start doing kickboxing again. So I thought it'd be great if I could do like an action show. I didn't have a job doing that, but I thought, well, if it comes along, I'll be prepared. And luckily enough, it did sort of happen. I don't know, I haven't worked out since we wrapped. It was just kind of a mess. I think getting ready for it, I'll probably go back to the gym and do some yoga and watch what I eat.
Can you talk about your first exposure to comic books and what you drew from them?
My first exposure was going on eBay and bidding for the old comic books, and I got some pretty good deals, by the way. And they sent them to me, and I read the DC comic book character, and I thought, wow, this guy's pretty cool. It was a little confusing when it got to the Vertigo comics because when he would actually take on the real faces and visages of these clients of his, it was kind of confusing for me to follow. And apparently Simon West and John Steinberg also felt the same way, so I thought, well, let's get to know this character first before he starts doing anything like that.
Do you think it's possible that maybe he might become sort of like a Raul and Han kind of character from Mission Impossible?
I hope. I'd like to think so, within limits. You know, I mean, maybe we could take on like Thomas Jane as a client. You know, do an episode of Hung or something like that. I don't know. But aside from that, I don't think there's going to be a lot of prosthetics going on because they're really not. We wanted to have this exist in the real world and kind of capture the essence of that character, which I think the television show that we have now really does. Sort of, kind of, at least to my point of departure, was a DC character. It's not really that reflective necessarily, but he loves what he does and he cares about the people that he's taking care of, and it's a living. So.
Can you tell us about shooting the fight scene with Jackie? That was amazing.
Oh, that was fun. Come to find out, Jackie's like a black belt in some WonderCon, something or other. You know what I mean? So that was really enjoyable. That was the first time both of us really enjoyed the show. Not only doing it, but we enjoy it as viewers, like watching it from week to week. We get kind of excited about what's going to happen, and it was a real treat for us to really sort of work together for the first time. We did not only a scene, but a fight scene as well, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It just sort of, it was just like us having a good time, wrestling around.
And also, what was it like working with
That was kind of a special experience for me because as a kid I really loved watching the 6 Million Dollar Man. And when I first met him I thought, yeah, I should be sitting in front of the TV right now, or like, you know, kneeling on a carpet or something. Well, he's not like in a worshiping Indian fashion, but you know, like a kid sitting on a carpet watching television, you know. And or Muslim, I suppose they use carpets. Catholics don't, not too big on carpets though. There's like a padded thing to kneel on. Yeah. Happy Easter. And you know, I sort of felt like I'd gone inside the television set when I was doing the scene. Oh my.
As an actor, what's it like to be in this world? Not the human target world, but the whole Comic Con and WonderCon and comic book world, where you have real passionate fans.
I really enjoy it, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, when I first got here, somebody came up to me and said, "Man, I really love Burn Notice." I said, "Oh, thanks," because you're probably going to hear that all day. Yeah. But generally, the audience, I love the audiences like at Comic-Con because they always ask the coolest questions, and they're passionate about things, and they really love the mythology. mythology of the characters and the story aspect of things. And I find that Comic-Con are generally much more interested in the characters and in the story as opposed to what did you have for breakfast this morning, or do you like riding horses, or where do you go on vacation. You know, they're much more interested in the show, the characters, the story, and the mythology and the world that we're all kind of creating.
What's the most detailed question that you've gotten from
Most detailed question. That might have been it right there. That really had me thinking. I'm like, that might have been it. I can't really remember. Most of the questions I get, do you do your own stunts? Mm-hmm. I'll answer it if somebody wants to. Do you do your own stunts? What's it like playing an action hero? And yeah.
So we can answer those questions.
I can if you want to know.
Well, we want to know. We don't want to ask them.
Can you talk about the specific character relationships you have with the other two parts of the triangle on the show? It seems like you have a lot in common with Jackie's characters, you know, you can be at odds. But it's a lot, you have a lot more of negotiation with Winston. Talk about how that...
Well, I think Guerrero and I have a much better shorthand because they've been together in the various incarnations, together. They were probably served as mercenaries together, and they kind of worked together. So even for the pilot, we've chosen that Guerrero and I, we don't really have to look at each other in the eye all that much. Just kind of know what the other one is doing or what they're thinking. With Shy, it's a little different because he came from the other side of the law. He was an ex-cop, and so they sort of have to. They have a bond already, but they kind of have to build the steps to get there. They have to kind of create their own language together. That's one of the cool things. I mean, the way I think Jackie came up with this first, he said the best way to describe the relationship is if to say, well, maybe Chance is an addict and Shy is Shy's character Winston is his sponsor, and Jackie O'Haley Guerrero was probably his old drug dealer. So. Yeah.
So you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great female guest stars, Grace Park, Manuel Berger, and recently Amy Aker. Can you talk about that a little bit, the experience of working with all those different great actresses?
Yeah, this is my life, What can I say? We've really gotten some really quality guest actors that have come on the show. And also shooting in Vancouver has been we've been very fortunate with that as well, because it's just a wonderful pool of actors that they take our guest people from. When we started this, Tricia Helfer was fantastic. She's everyone's kind of different in their own way, but our casting has just been phenomenal, and I'm just really happy about it. Yeah, there was Tricia Helfer, Moon Bloodgood, an episode. I hope they all kind of are able to come back, and we do enough seasons where we get to see these characters again.
I spoke to Tricia Helfer actually a little while ago, and she said she wants to come back. So.
Really? We should make that happen.
I'll get right on that.
Let's make some deals happen right here. Sort of a strain. WonderCon, this is where the deals are going down right here.
Kind of an unusual route into acting. Can you talk a little bit about your first project was a John Schlesinger film, right? You were an extra.
Yeah, I was an extra.
And then you kind of finagled yourself some lines. Can you talk about how that developed, and did you ever do an actual training?
Yeah, I started out. I mean, I was a soldier. I was in the army. I was stationed overseas in Canada. There were some films coming into town after the wall came out, like Battlesburg Studios, and I was just in a store buying. I was leaving the army. I knew that, and I was in a store buying jeans or something. And somebody said, "Would you like to be an extra in the film? We need soldiers to be in this film." So I thought, well, it'd be a good thing to see. You check that out. Once I got there, it felt like I'd gotten to go behind the curtain and see what happens inside the circus for the first time. I really want to do this. I was working as an extra, and a couple of little things happened where I didn't necessarily get a break where people started hiring me, but I got enough little things happen that started giving me enough self-confidence to feel like maybe I could actually do this, or maybe I could try it. Or one of the advantages was being in Germany at the time, so I didn't have to deal with all my American friends. Yeah, everybody would like to be an actor, you retard. It was more like, who cares? Nobody knows me. I can try it.
Sorry, guys. Last question. Do you have any more?
Well, I just want to ask, are you familiar with the new Human Target comic book that's based off the show?
Yeah, I bought actually the last issue off the stand in Vancouver at a comic book store.
And what do you think about the art? Do you think that does it look like you? You think?
It does look a little bit more like
see
me. The
yourself
guy
in
doesn't have
comic-
that gray. He doesn't have that gray patch anymore. He's got like light colored hair and looks like me on steroids. That was kind of. I figure I kind of made it in showbiz now. If I look like,
And now all you need is a little action figure of yourself.
Yeah, and then that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Then I'm done. Yeah. Nice to meet you guys.
Right.
All right, thank you.